This is the Milo Beasley Show. This is the Milo Beasley Show. There's only one thing you need to know. This is the Milo Beasley Show. And now, here's your host, Milo Beasley.
And welcome to the Milo Beasley Show. I'm super excited today. It's not every day you get to talk to an Emmy Award winner. So let's go ahead and get right into things. Please help me welcome at this time, Kira Reed Lorsch. How are you doing today?
Hey Milo, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Whereabouts are you? Are you in California?
I am. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm in Hollyweird.
Oh yeah. I've been there a couple times, not too like visiting, like doing tourist stuff, taking pictures of all the buildings and the Kodak Center or whatever. So
the Walk of Fame.
Yeah, of course. Got to, get your picture and the handprints and all that stuff at the Chinese theater.
Yeah.
So normally, whenever I bring a guest on and I ask, hey, what'd you do over, the quarantine during the pandemic? Did you make banana bread? Did you binge watch Netflix? But you went out and filmed a movie.
Oh yeah. I went to Malta and I filmed a mainstream full-length feature movie in Malta that's coming out October 14th. Just in time for my
Love
birthday.
on the Rock. There it is.
Yeah.
I mean, filming in Malta? What the?
Do you even know where Malta is? I mean, it's this little country. It's called The Rock is its nickname, which is why the movie's called Love on the Rock. And it's an action adventure movie. And my friend David A.R. White, who's the star of the movie, I had just done a movie with him called Beckman, which is out everywhere now. I play the soccer mom by day and the human trafficking assassin by night to his hero, good guy, Beckman. And he said, hey, Kira, can you be in Malta in 3 days? And I said, yes. And I figured out the rest. But they had changed from the lead bad lady being a woman surrounded by henchmen to a lead bad guy played by my friend Stephen Bauer. And they wanted to surround him with some bad, Girl Fridays, hench women. So I tested the next day. I got on a plane and was shooting a movie in Malta. I have a really fun small part, playing with the boys in Malta. And I had an amazing adventure. I left the couch and shot an action movie. And my birthday is October 13th. So we're having the premiere party / my birthday party at the Universal Hilton on October 13th for my birthday for the movie coming out on the 14th. So it's very exciting.
That is great. Well, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
So when you went to Malta, did you have to quarantine for 2 weeks before you filmed, or were you able to go straight into filming?
We were able to go straight into filming if we tested negative. So to get on the plane, you have to test negative, and then you get to Malta, they put you in your room and you test again. And as soon as you're negative, you are brought into the herd, the crew, the cast and crew that all kind of stays cocooned together.
Right. So
you're not interacting outside, which is hard to do because we're staying in a hotel, so you're still dealing with other people. They had a super mask mandate, as a nation before we did, so that's why they were able to shoot. I can't go to the Valley to shoot a movie in the pandemic, yet I can go to Malta. It made no sense, but it was beautiful. They shoot Game of Thrones there.
I was going to say, where would you rather go though?
Totally. I want to go to Malta. And it was gorgeous and the food was incredible. And we were at this beautiful hotel. On our day off, we went to the Blue Lagoon, where they shot the movie, the Blue Lagoon.
Right.
And this is a Christian themed, some faith-based things in here. So to be at in the cradle of Christian civilization where St. Peter's pool actually is. We went swimming in St. Peter's pool, the real one. It's incredible.
It sounds like a dream come true to be able to be oh, I'll just go work over and, just hang out in the lagoon.
It was like, this is why I love my job, because it really isn't work. And, it's taken me a long time to get here. I started off as a child actress doing like the local TV commercials and modeling school. And then I worked my way through college doing extra work in the movies and on TV. Like I got my first line on the original 90210. I've been a PA. I've swept floors. I've had day jobs. I worked as a waitress and a busser and a cocktail waitress and a bartender, and it takes, and people are like, oh, you've had such an amazing career in life. I'm like, yeah, because I've been doing it for 30 years,
Right. So
a long haul.
What made you want to do that from the start? What made you want to get into acting from the start?
They say don't go into show business unless you can't do anything else. And that was kind of my thing. Like I just always, I would watch TV, and I said to my mom, like, how do I get in the TV? I want to be on TV. How do I do this? So within a small town in Northern California, and then my step family in Louisville, Kentucky, I did everything I did the dance recitals and the school plays and the local modeling school. And I was never pretty like the models. I'm 5'3", and like I'm the skipper to the Barbies, I always say, you know what I mean? Right. So I never would have thought I would have a big break working for Playboy. And I worked for 12 years at Playboy. They cast me in some things as like the friend of, the lead hot girl. I was the comic
Right.
relief or something. And then they used me as a reporter. Hi, I'm Kira Reed here and wherever, whatever, doing crazy things that I worked on and then wrote and produced for and learned how to be a television producer, which I've now won Emmys for. But it's you can plan out what you think your career is going to be or your life is going to be. But like God has another plan. Like some of it's what you never would have expected. And, those are the gifts that we get. And, I'm just grateful and humbled that, Hollywood has embraced me, and I'm still working at years old.
Absolutely. Now, did you catch any flack? Did you get any feedback of saying, oh, you'll never work in Hollywood if you do the Playboy TV stuff?
Yeah, I just, I wasn't really working in Hollywood anyway. I was working as a waitress and an extra. So I'm like, at 25, I didn't even go into Playboy till I was over the hill and graduated from UCLA School of Theater, Film, and Television. So it's not like I was just like some like, girl that, and she did Playboy. And then, I used it as a stepping stone, and I took the power that gave me. I took the opportunity that gave me. And yeah, you have to own it, and you have to be comfortable that was something that was okay with you. But let me tell you, I was at UCLA. I did my first trip over to Europe when I was 24 years old. And I had when I auditioned for this Playboy movie that I didn't know what it was. It just said actors and models wanted for a movie that shoots in Hawaii for 3 weeks, in Maui. And I'm like, Playboy's doing a movie in Maui for 3 weeks? Well, and I talked to the casting people, and they're like, well, you have to be comfortable. There may be some nudity in your role. And I said, well, I just got back from my college trip to Greece, where I was topless on the beach the whole time. Like, that's what people do. Like, it wasn't something that I was uncomfortable with. It was something that I used, that I had to like get in. And then, Hef liked me, and they hired me as a writer and producer and a host for years and years and years. Hef's daughter, Christy, signed my check. So it wasn't like I was a crack whore.
Right.
And my friend, I was a respected member of the Playboy family. You know what I mean? So
no, absolutely. Absolutely.
So there's levels of things that you can do. And I chose my comfort zone.
Right. And then again, you used that background, that experience as a, like you said, as a writer, as a producer, to leverage jobs later on. And I think that's amazing.
And not that there's anything wrong with being, if that's good for you.
Right. No, I agree.
For anybody.
Right. No, I agree. But, it's some people, again, are saying, oh, you'll never work in Hollywood if you do that stuff, or,
then, who made them the king or queen of Hollywood? You know what I mean? So
100%.
and also look at all the people like Pamela Anderson or Jenny McCarthy. I was in the magazine as an actress in Playboy 1996, and Jenny McCarthy was on the cover, and I used them as role models of how you can go to wherever you want to be. You know, it's like when you're paddling the boat and it's like, oh no, you don't save me, don't give me a role, because I'm waiting for the next role to come, and then it may never come.
Right.
So you kind of have to make a decision at the time, like take what you're being offered, and make that your lifeline.
Absolutely. I want to go back to Love on the Rock real quick, because in the
and now I'm doing Jesus movies, so you know. Full circle.
Full circle. But I noticed that John Lovitz was credited in the. Did you get to hang with John Lovitz in Malta?
I've been hanging with John Lovitz at the Playboy Mansion for years. He actually didn't shoot in Malta. His part was cast after, because again, that part, you know, was maybe going to be a woman, and then they cast it later. We shot on a set here in Los Angeles. So he didn't actually come to Malta as part of our group, but it was me, the director, Matt Shapira, my friend Vincent DePaul, who introduced me to this whole group. So it was kind of a little family. David A.R. White and I are like brother and sister buddies, you know. So it was a sweet little family. And Stephen Bauer, who's been my friend for over 20 years, you know, in Hollywood and around, from Scarface and Ray Donovan, and you know Stephen Bauer. But he's going to be here for my birthday and the premiere. And he was over there in Malta with us. And let me tell you, every night, and Jeff Fahey was there, we'd be sitting around in the lobby, and Stephen would break out his guitar, and we'd all be singing Hotel California, or the greatest hits of, you know, that Stephen Bauer knows. And it was such a great time. So John Lovitz missed out. He should have been in Malta with us.
It sounds like he missed out. Yeah. Next time for the sequel, he's going to be like, hey, make sure you fly me out to Malta.
Yeah, it's fun.
So on my notes, I mentioned that you're an Emmy Award winner, and then I says I have a sentence that says, "Where do you keep your Emmys?" But I guess I really don't need to ask that question, huh?
I like to do my interviews since we're doing so much from home now. I just come to my home office, where I've tucked away, for the most part, in the back of my office, all my Emmys and awards and family film awards and philanthropy things. You know, the Emmys are from The Bay, the series, which is on Amazon Prime streaming. I play Joe Connors. Of course, I'm the bad guy. You know, I'm the madam of the underworld, but you know, why not? I mean, you know, what a fun role to play. You know,
I prefer playing the bad guy.
Take over society by, you know, running the mob and the girls and all of that. But yeah, I keep them here to remind me that I've come a long way.
Absolutely, and you've won them as a producer, but you've also been nominated as an actress. As an actor, like that's got the feeling of being like, okay, well, you know, being behind the scenes, but being on camera and still getting that recognition, that has to be an immense amount of pride.
Yeah, I've always had a lot of gumption and, you know, a lot of attitude and a lot of, like, you know, drive and all that, but I'm not Meryl Streep, okay? I've got a good energy. I sort of show up and can do my thing and have my shtick and know my lines. But like when people are like, "Oh no, you're a really good actor," that just feels good. And it's also what I love, you know. And I studied acting, and you know, I do take it seriously most of the time. I try not to take it too seriously and have fun with it at this stage of the game. But and it's more about, you know, the people I get to work with and the places I get to go, and you know, but it's about the script and the work, and or taking a little something and fleshing it out and making it into something bigger. And to be recognized as Best Supporting Actress for Joe Connors on The Bay is fantastic. And I've never been on a soap opera. Like most of the people that get nominated for a daytime Emmy are like on General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, The Bold and the Beautiful, or The Young and the Restless. Right. You know, so to be in their, you know, ether with these grand dames of drama, you know, who are so fantastic and just ooze, you know, actress, you know, I get to hang with those ladies, you know, so that was really fun.
It sounds fun. Do do you prefer being behind or in front of the camera?
Totally different animals, and a lot of times I'm both, because you can't expect like to be discovered at the soda fountain these days and just be put in a movie. It's like you've got to be creating your own content, writing your own stuff, out there networking. Like the reason they called me to go to Malta to do Love on the Rock is because they knew me, they knew my work. I was an executive producer on Beckman, so they knew, you know, I could hang and solve problems if needed, and I ended up, you know, being a co-producer on the film. You know what I mean? So like they pick you because you're a good enough actor. You can hang with them. They know you and like you. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the whole package. But producing is very different, and there's all sorts of producers. You can be an investor producer. You can be a hands-on, do the grunt work producer. You can be like the logistics producer. And I just I'm good at solving problems. I'm good at organizing. You know, we're all producers of our own life. It's about making things happen on a budget, making things happen on time. It's like, just like, if you're good at life, you can be a good producer. But as we know in life, sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. Sometimes it's a lot like work, and sometimes you don't want to have to solve another problem, and sometimes you're running out of money and time, you know? So the production is definitely more work, but it's rewarding in its own ways. Acting is like the icing on the cake. Your talent, so you're treated the best. You know, they dress you, they put makeup on you. Like today, I'm like, what am I gonna wear? And I'm figuring out my hair, and this lipstick got smeared, so I have to change my shirt. Like, you don't have to think about that when you're the actor. Like, here's your beautiful. We have a fitting, and you have a makeup artist, and then you go sit around and wait all day, and then you have lunch, and then you re-put your clothes on and re-put your makeup on, and then you go to set, and they're waiting for you, and they're like, oh, you're so wonderful, you're so glad that you're here. You know, like you get treated like you don't get treated in normal life, you know, like you're the queen of the universe for that minute, and you are. But you have to be prepared, you have to know your stuff, you have to show up and do something, you know, do your job, because all of the other 40 people on set who have lit you and have your sound and everything, and then you do your little thing, and then it's over, and then they move on to the next thing. But for that 10 seconds, those 2 lines, you know, you get to be queen of the world. So it's fun. And, you know, and if you're working with people you like and you're doing something creative, you get fulfilled that way too. Like, oh, you come up with ideas, and playing it differently than you thought it might go, depending on what actor you're working with and what they're giving you. So it's like, it's to me, that's the most creatively fulfilling.
Right. Now, again, we mentioned Love on the Rock coming out October 14th, but October, it is spooky season, Halloween, and you have another movie that's, you know, out for the spooky season.
I have a movie. It's called Amityville Witches, and it's everywhere. Video on demand. You can buy it on DVD. You can buy it signed on my website from me. I'm one of 3. There's me, one of 3 good witches. So we're fighting the evil demons and saving the girls from being sacrificed to the devil, you know.
So you're good in this one.
Yes, I'm a good witch in this one. And part of it, the reason is like, I don't really like all that gore stuff. Like when we were in talks initially, they were like, you might be good for being the, you know, the evil, lady. And I was like, I see that I have to sacrifice virgins and slit somebody's throat. And it's like, I really don't want to do, I just don't even want to be on set faking it. Like I can't even act it, and I don't want to watch it. But if that happens in the movie, I'm going to be the one fighting against it, which is good. I picked that role too, because it looks like there's going to be a sequel, The Salem Witches. And if I was the evil lady, she'd be dead.
Right, you'd be
dead.
I
wouldn't get to do the sequel.
You don't make the money on the sequel.
So I get to come back.
So you're not into like scary movies or anything like that.
I'm just not into the blood and gore. I've died a couple times in movies. I did this this thing, the Donner Silver Zemeckis, you know, Perversions of Science. I played a vampire and got stabbed through the heart. I think it was Jason Lee and Jamie Kennedy and me, and like this was a zillion years ago, 25 years ago, whatever. And even that was kind of a spoofy one. I didn't like. And then I was decapitated in a movie by a serial killer and shadow dancer. And I'm supposed to do this movie with my friend Nancy O'Brien, who's a writer, director, got postponed due to the pandemic, but it's like a zombie apocalypse movie. So I'm going to be fighting off, and we don't know if I'm dead or alive and why I'm fighting zombies, but I basically have to be covered in blood and, for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, am I upset that this movie got postponed, or am I happy this movie got postponed? Like, I want to do my friend's movie. It's a great role. There's a lot going on, but it's also like, I want a good romantic comedy. Give me Love on the Rock any day.
Right. Well, I just want to let you know, I'm part of the decapitated in a movie club as well.
Oh, you are? What movie did you get decapitated in?
I was killed about 15 different ways in a movie called Legend of the Red Reaper, where I was a ton of different characters with makeup and wigs and just, and movie magic and stuff like that.
Now, do you like the horror stuff then?
I do. I don't like movies that could be real.
Gotcha.
And about like the devil. Like,
no
Ouija boards, no exorcisms, nothing like that.
No Amityville hauntings.
Yeah, stuff that could be real, I'm out. But like scary movies,
scary
Freddy Krueger, like I'm like, it's whatever. It is what it is.
Okay. Well, I'll look for that one. Legend of the Red Reaper.
Yeah, I think it's on the Amazon. I think you can get it on the Amazon Prime.
Cool. For Halloween season to go with Amityville Witches.
Yes. On your so with this, and I guess with Love on the Rock, your bio says that you're a writer, producer, and stunt woman. And because I did stunts on Legend of the Red Reaper, I got to know. Tell me about these stunts. Which movies, which shows did you do stunts for?
Well, part of when I was starting out doing stuff, I would be people's body doubles or stand-ins or stunt. Like, what's a good example? I was, Patricia Arquette in the movie Stigmata.
Oh my God, I love Stigmata. Even though it goes against my rules.
She had 3 stunt doubles. I was one of them. I did a lot of her body work. And a lot of the stuff, like when she was going through the stigmata and she was bloody and she was shot through the hands and there was nails, and I did her seizure on the bathtub, flailing all over the place. That was me. And then they put her in and get some close-ups on her face. But when they're doing picks up on the legs and under the water and the hair and around, I'm her person, so she can get ready for the next scene of acting close up. And they're getting like my feet kicking around, you know what I mean? But I get more residuals from that movie still than all of the like starring roles in other movies I've done, because it holds up and it plays everywhere now. And I had a really good contract apparently. Thank you to my agent. I also got to do the love scene with Patrick Muldoon, and he was hot stuff at the time on Melrose Place and stuff like that. So like that was really fun for me, and to go home and tell all my friends. But she was blonde and tatted up in that film. So every day going in for makeup took like 4 hours, and then you sit around in the chair, and then all they do is shoot your feet, and then you do it again, but you get paid every day, and then you get residuals. So it was a really good gig. I also, I do gun work and things. So I've done a lot of action movies. They hire me to have a small part in the movie. And then sometimes I'm doing the actually shooting or the running or the stuff for the lead actor. I don't do it as much anymore because my body doesn't want to do it. But like machine guns on tanks and like Warriors of the Apocalypse, some of those movies that I did back in the day. It's really fun to do. Gail O'Grady from NYPD Blue. I was in NYPD Blue as a character, but I also did. I was the woman having the affair with Detective Ortiz's husband. I ended up dead in a bathtub of blood. So another one that I die in. I'm just tired of dying, I think. But you don't look at Gail O'Grady and look at me and go, oh, she would be her. She's buxom and blonde and all of this, but we were about the same size, and they put a blonde wig on me, and I did some body double work for her throughout career in some of the movies. I got to go to Toronto and hang out on a movie set for her. So I would just do the stuff she didn't want to do. Like walk from the car to inside in the cold. It was cold. It was Toronto. I wouldn't want to do it either, but they're paying me to sit around all day and be you outside. Okay, I'll do it.
That's fantastic. Another thing that I want to talk about, because it's really close to me. I just lost a friend, but that is your work in the mental health realm.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get involved in that to begin with? Because I think it's a big thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the pandemic, things are going
Mm-hmm.
on. It's very easy to get super down and
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully it won't get too emotional about it, because every time I talk about stuff, it's because it's so important. And like you said, during the pandemic, there's a big spotlight on mental health, because we've all seen what the pressures of being out of control, being taken out of your environment, being secluded from people will do. And it just shows you how important our well-being of our mind is. And working for Playboy, we used to say, what's the biggest organ you have? And everyone would think it was a sexy thing. It's like, no, it's the brain. It's like, it's the brain is the largest organ you have. And we have to make sure that that's healthy, and it controls our wants and our desires and, how we function in life. And then if it's distorted, it gets messed up. And I would say that I was drawn to work in mental health because I'm so healthy and I'm the expert on it, but it's the opposite. It's that I've struggled, and I just don't think it's for a long time. It's something that, that we're not supposed to talk about. We're supposed to talk about it. That's why there's therapy, you know? And so people are being more open about it now than ever. I think that's great. I worked with the Thalians, which was started by Debbie Reynolds and Ruta Lee 70 years ago. Debbie, and of course her daughter, Carrie Fisher, our Princess Leia, died on the same day when I was on the board. And I became president of that organization for several years till my term was up. And at that point, we were moving from general mental health to specifics of men and women returning from Iraq and Afghanistan who were blown up physically. And UCLA, my alma mater, put them back together at UCLA Operation Mend physically. And then we supported mental health programs for those military men and women and their families. So it's like where is it needed most? That seems like a good place to put it, Right. And then I also am an ambassador for the Imperfectly Perfect campaign, which is started out of Australia and is now like a worldwide phenomenon, and just people sharing their stories about whatever struggles they have and how they've overcome them. And I'm really honored to be part of that group and to be able to tell my story and talk about bad times and and overcoming them. And it's a daily process. Like I have to get up and start my day off praying, doing my affirmations of what a good person I am, I'm worthy and all this stuff. Otherwise I'll spend my whole day beating myself up and getting panicked about nothing and worrying myself crazy, which of course doesn't do any good. So mental health, we all know that's important now. That's good.
Yeah. When I was doing my research, I saw, the Imperfectly Perfect campaign, and I thought it was brilliant. And I definitely wanted to talk to you about it because, like you said, it is very important that we talk about these things, and that you do have friends to be able to talk to, before things get too far.
Yeah. And right now we're all in it together, where we've all kind of had, some PTSD and several nervous breakdowns over the past year and a half. So, yeah, you're not alone.
100%, 100%. So we're going to change gears a little bit. We're going to go into the first of our 2 mini games here that we have on the Milo Beasley Show.
There's games?
There's games.
Oh, goody.
The first is called the Milo Beasley Show Frequently Asked Questions. I'm going to ask you the same 5 questions I ask every guest on the show.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Question number 1. Who was your first celebrity crush?
Sean Cassidy was my first celebrity crush.
Okay.
I had my mom. I was living in Northern California at the time. Do run, 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 do run, run. I was in first grade, and he did the cover of that song for his Sean Cassidy album, and he was so cute with the blonde feathered hair. I mean, there was David Cassidy fans, you know, from the Partridge Family, and then there was Sean Cassidy fans. I was definitely a Sean Cassidy fan. And I would get together the neighborhood girls. This is how early I started. And we would do baton twirling routines to do run, 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 to do run, run. And he was my first concert I ever attended. And I asked my birthday that I wanted to see Sean Cassidy, and I was too young to go by myself. So they sent my babysitter with me to the Oakland Coliseum to see Sean Cassidy. And he had like pink plastic pants that he ripped off, you know, over his next pair of leather pants or whatever. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, I can tell you're still like visualizing it to this day. It's fantastic.
He's a director now. He's still hot. He's like, you know, 70 years old or something, but he's still hot.
And maybe you can work for him.
Yeah, I've never worked with him before.
Let's put it out there in the Twitter verse right now, everybody.
We'll put it out there. We're putting it out there today on your show.
Question number 2. What is your guilty pleasure song? So what song, if it comes on the radio, you are turning it up, you don't care who's around, you're rocking out to it?
I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. And I love dancing. I can't sing like Whitney, that's for sure. But I love that song, and it makes me happy every time I hear it. And, you know, I love it that like the 80s are like a thing that's on all the time. Like there's always an 80s party or a throwback this. So, you know, give me some Michael Jackson and some Whitney, and I'm in tall cotton. But that song, when that comes on, I just want to dance. I'll dance anywhere. Like
I remember playing that song on a jukebox, I think in Alabama when I was like super young. So like, yes, I get it. I absolutely get that song.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is if you had to, your life depended on it, would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? So if you were being attacked, which do you think that you could adequately defend yourself against and win, or at least survive?
I would go with the herd of little horses. I could like distract, have them chase me, trap them, get away from them. I'm not sure how I could David and Goliath, the big duck with the great big mouth. Like I would think I would try to, like, you know, and it would outrun me because even those little duck legs would be bigger than my big legs. So I think I could like produce the capture of the little horses better. That's the weirdest question I've ever been asked. Well, I hope there are no right or wrong answers.
Oh, there's zero.
Not sure about the answer to that one.
A lot of people who pick the giant duck, I think that they've never seen the inside of a duck's mouth before, because those are terrifying.
Yeah,
and that would be
it's like a big dinosaur coming after you, like Godzilla or something, like the big scary monster. I can handle a bunch of pretty ponies, you know.
Right. I would want them as pets.
Yeah, maybe we'll make friends.
All right, question number 4. What is your favorite movie quote?
I would say, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes it rains. Think about that. Bull Durham.
Oh,
1988.
Yes.
And it's a great philosophy. It's a great movie if you haven't seen Bull Durham. Susan Sarandon, Kevin Costner, Tim Robbins.
Man.
Yeah, and it's about love and baseball and the philosophy.
Is it about love or is it about lust? All right. So then question number 5. Here we go. So fill in the blank. If blank was an Olympic sport, I would win a gold medal.
If eating chunky monkey ice cream was an Olympic sport, I would win a gold medal.
I'm gonna tell you that's the best answer I've gotten on this question. Fantastic. So Chunky Monkey is your go-to.
Oh man. This is why people put on the weight during quarantine. You had to go stock up on groceries, so I would get all my favorite things, including my Chunky Monkey, and I got a little bit funky chunky.
Yeah, I'm a Rocky Road or yeah, or like a nice French vanilla. Like,
very nice.
Yeah.
Very civilized.
Kind of basic, but a little bit of flavor.
Yeah.
All right, and then the second of our little mini games here is called
wait,
the Milo Beasley Show Top 5. Again, there's no wrong answers.
Okay, I won't rack my brain too much.
I'm going to ask you.
Don't think, just
a question. This is a don't think. This is a don't think about it. Top 5, no particular order, off the top of your head. You mentioned you like, you prefer the romantic comedies over the horror. So top 5 romantic comedies.
Well, I would put Bull Durham in there. When Harry Met Sally. Is Annie Hall a romantic comedy? We'll call it a romantic comedy. Yeah. You can't go wrong with The Holiday. Jack Black, Jude Law, Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet. Let's see. The Proposal is really fun. Made in Manhattan. Have I hit 5 yet? I mean,
that's it. That's it.
Love on the Rock. We have to add that one to the list, but that's new. We'll keep it to the classics.
Yeah, we have to at least give it a year. So before we wrap up, do you have anything else to any words of wisdom to our viewers out there who are watching?
Who's watching your show? Who's your audience? Is it everybody?
So here's the thing. I used to be a professional wrestler.
Okay.
So I have a lot of those fans, those folks as viewers. I now work for a lot of comic conventions. So people who are watching celebrity interviews, they're watching. And I used to run a Disney podcast. So I think those people might still be watching. Yeah. So it's literally a melting pot of folks.
Of fun folks and people who are into entertainment and all of that. I think wrestling is one of the purest, most amazing, dramatic, storytelling forms of entertainment there is. My stepson actually has had a wrestling company, Family Wrestling Entertainment in New York. And I've worked with some of the wrestlers who are actors, and including in Beckman. And I don't even know their wrestling names because I don't really watch it and follow it. I've seen it, of course, but I don't I know them with their actor names, not their wrestling names. And someone will come up to me and say, "You worked with Summer Rain," or something like that. And I'm like, who? Oh, Danielle. Yeah, she was really good. She was really good in her fight scenes, But anyway, I love wrestling, and I think it's a really creative art form. And if you're in wrestling, or if you want to make movies, or if you want to make cupcakes and open a bakery, it's all the same stuff. It's all being creative and doing the work. So I would say whatever your dream is and whatever your creative ambition is just to go for it and do it and keep doing it. And there's so many ways to do it. And if one way doesn't work, you keep going. And if you have a dream, don't just dream it, do it. It's all about taking the action and being persistent. And, having a good attitude about it so people like you. People will want to come see you and hire you and want you part of your thing if you're a nice person. So, it's not brain surgery. Be nice and work hard.
Be nice and work hard. That should really be that should be everybody's mantra, really, especially be nice. Just be nice to people. It's really not that hard.
Yeah. It's free.
Be nice is free. Now where can folks find you? Do what?
And it makes you feel good.
It does. It does. So where can folks find you on the social medias?
all over those social medias when Instagram and Facebook aren't down, right? I was down yesterday. I was like, this is crazy. Like, I was like, it's apocalyptic. Social media is down. Thank goodness it's back. And you can find me anywhere at Kira Reed Lorsch. Twitter, Instagram. I've got a Facebook page and a Facebook fan page. You can go to Kira Reed Lorsch fans and follow me there. And I'm loving this TikTok. I'm learning how to use it. So that's a fun one.
I'm not so good at it. I try, and then I forget that I have it, and then I'll post like 2 videos in a row, and then forget that I have it for 2 months or something.
Yeah, I can't keep up with the kids, but it's their platform is really innate and really easy to use. So if I can't edit a video, like in iTunes or something like that, I can edit it on TikTok for sure and make a cute little 20-second or something. So I played around to make a Love on the Rock one, which I'm going to post soon. So, and of course, you can go to my website, KiraReedLorsch.com.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. And I know good luck is a bad word in the entertainment business, but all the best to you and all the best to everybody for Love on the Rock. We'll throw it up there one more time for everyone to see. So make sure you check it out. It's going to be streaming. Where's it going to be streaming at? Pretty much everywhere.
It's going to be everywhere, video on demand in theaters. And then
fantastic.
It'll be released on same day on the Amazons and the Walmarts and everywhere on DVD and for download. So, and then it'll go, I think by Thanksgiving time, it'll be at pureflix.com, the family and Christian streaming platform, PureFlix.
Fantastic. And again, everyone go out and check it out. Make sure you say great things about it so they make a sequel and Kira can go back to Malta, this time with John Lovitz, and he can hang out and do all the fun stuff and not miss out on it. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
Thank you, Milo. Thanks for having me. So fun.
And everyone, I will see you guys next week. Bye.